Hello, this is Kaki Lee, and welcome to the Abundant Goddess Show, where I'll be sharing daily, bite sized pearls of wisdom I've picked up along my life journey that has allowed me to embrace and unleash my inner abundant goddess. And that's exactly what I want for you, to embrace and unleash your inner abundant goddess. I love talking about anything and everything to do with life, but I especially love talking about money, mindset, and energy, which is the main focus here. If you like what you hear, make sure you subscribe to my show so you don't miss out on your daily dose of wisdom from myself. And also follow me and let me know what you think on Facebook and Instagram at Abundance with Kaki Lee. Now let's get into it. Welcome to the Abundant Goddess Show and day 26 of my 40 Days to 40 series, where I'm sharing 40 things I've learned in my life so far over 40 days. Today's pearl of wisdom is make time for play. This one was really hard for me to embody, to embrace, to put into practice because I was programmed to believe that I needed to be productive and doing something all the time. So play meant that I wasn't doing anything, which was meant that I was wasting my time, not being productive. Even if what I was doing was busy work and not actually being productive or getting me anywhere, I still had to be doing something. And it was only in the last few years that I really realized the importance of play. Now, don't get me wrong, I did play throughout my life, but it was never totally relaxed without agenda, without a timeline. It was very much, oh, I've got these things to do in the back of my head, or wasn't present, I wasn't fully in the moment, or I felt guilty after I played because I didn't do what my work or wasn't productive. So there was all these things wrapped around the play. It wasn't just like, yeah, I played and I had fun and that, there was no guilt, no shame. There was guilt and shame after I played if I was fully immersed or fully present, because afterwards I'm like, well, I didn't get this done, or I've got all these things to do now, and so on. And I'm sure many of you listening would probably have the same problem, issue, whatever you want to call it. And when I discovered the importance of play, having no agenda, no timeline, really just being present and knowing that it is actually something that brings joy, brings laughter, brings happiness, brings creativity and flow, then I was like, oh, wow, play is so important. It's not a waste of time. There is no guilt, no shame attached to it. That's when it started to change. And now I know that when I'm, sometimes when I'm working and I'm just stuck in, I'm not getting that creative flow, I need to just go out and play. Sometimes it might just be to just shake it off or just have a cup of tea. Okay. So not really playing, but just walk away. But just walking away. And if you play, it really helps you to shift the energy. Playing definitely shifts it much better than just having a cup of tea. But what I'm saying is you also need to define what you consider play. Now, play is different for everyone. And this also was something that I was stuck on because I was like, well, I don't really actually know what I like to do as play, right? Because I know people who does all these, really fun things like, they might like to go rollerblading or skateboarding, or I don't know, I don't even know if they're fun, but just things that was more adventurous. My play is like, oh, I like to read a book or maybe watch some TV or go eat something really nice or hang out with my friends or play with my kids. Nothing like exotic, but for me, that's still play. Like singing for me is play. Being silly with my family is play. So you need to define what play is for you and don't worry about what other people do for play. That's the other thing. It's like, let's compare what play is. There is no comparison. You define what play means for you. It might be cooking something, it might be going out to, do an escape room with your friends. And I love escape rooms. So that's definitely a play item for me. So much fun, escape rooms. If you haven't done an escape room, I really highly recommend it. Being locked in a room with your friends and trying to get out is really, really fun. Um, it's so funny. Every time I explain it to anyone that doesn't know what escape room is, and they'll look at me like I'm a weirdo, like, so you're locked in a room. But that's really fun for me. So really, it's just so important to have fun and be totally present, immersed in the moment, and not feel guilty afterwards because you need to do all this work, or you need to be productive. That was something that was really hard for me to learn, because I was comparing what play was, one, and then I was feeling guilty for playing and not being productive, or I wasn't present, or I wasn't immersed in the play. So all these bullshit stories that has been fed to me by, various sources. I don't even know where. It could be my upbringing, it could be from, just society in general, from school, from, wherever. But it's just so crazy that playing can make you feel guilty. It just didn't make sense to me. So for me, that was a really big lesson, to make time for play, because it brings you so much fun and joy and laughter. And just for me, creativity is a big one, because my work requires me to create and create. I mean, thinking of topics to talk about in the show, or for social media, creating posts, making beautiful like artwork for my posts, things like that. You need that creativity. And sometimes it's just that shift of energy. Like, I'm trying to work out the tech stuff. I'm quite techie, but sometimes I'm like, why isn't this working or aligning? And then I just need to go off and come back. And I was like, oh, it's just that. And I was sitting there for 2 hours. It just doesn't make sense. Right? It's like, okay, I just need to go play. You know what? So now I'm a lot more conscious, and I always make time once a week to do something fun and take time out from my work. Wednesday for me is a play day for sure, because that's my day with my youngest daughter. So we go out to the zoo, we go out, cafes, and just hang out and have fun. So for me, that day, there's no agenda, no timeline. We just chill and have fun together. And so she loves it so much that she's been super attached to me, especially recently, which is great. But maybe I'm having too much fun with her. So my message to you today is, if you're not feeling joy, if you're not feeling happy, and if you're not having fun in your life, go schedule some time out to play. Doesn't matter what it is, just schedule that time in and go play, because I assure you, you will feel so much better afterwards. And make sure that you don't have any agendas, no timelines. You're not like, and you're fully present and immersed in the play, because that makes so much difference to your whole experience. And feel no guilt, no shame afterwards. That is the most important thing. Play is a part of you. It is a necessary part of your life to really help bring in that flow. And when you're in flow, you're bringing in the abundance as well. Playing and being who you are, that is the secret ingredient to having a fun and abundant life. And that's the end of the show and day 26 of my 40 Days to 40 series. Please share this episode with anyone that needs a reminder to make time for play. If you like what you heard, make sure you subscribe to my show, and remember to follow me over at Facebook and Instagram at Abundance with Kaki Lee. to connect with me and let me know what you think of the episode. Lastly, if you're interested in working with me or learning from me, send me a DM on Facebook or Instagram, or email me at hello@karkili.com.